Hello, 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 everyone. How's it going? It is February 2nd, 2023, and we are here to do a live coding stream. I hope you're all excited to be with me. I hope that my stream is working. I can't quite tell. Let's just double check. Yeah, it looks like everything's up and running. So let's go ahead and do it. Hey, we have Skid Row HD Gaming. Welcome to the channel. Hope you're doing well tonight. What's up? Are you guys ready to do some streaming? You guys ready to do some coding? Let's get to it. It's a Thursday night and we're ready to rock. Hello, Roger. How are you doing tonight? Hopefully well. Cheers to everyone out there. So I have a few ideas that we could work on, but I'm going to let you guys choose. So let's see if anyone's in the Twitch stream. I'm going to switch over here. We have the Twitch stream here, and I'm going to go over and create a poll to see what we're going to be working on tonight. What should I work on tonight? IceCube Kaggle competition. US, what's this other one called? Create food data set. Something else. So these are our three choices. I'm going to put this timer on for 5 minutes. And I'm going to start this poll. So let's go ahead go to that, make this a little bit bigger, and you guys can vote on what you want to see. Hey, Mr. Gabriel's in the chat. Hi, I'm reading a book, Building Data Science Applications with Fast API. Very cool. Very cool. What's that drink, by the way? So this is a local brewery made this drink, and it's called Surrender Dorothy is the name of the beer. It's a really good beer. It's one of my favorites, not just because it's local to me, but just because it's great. So the food data set, just to give you a little bit of a background on it. When I first started streaming a little less than a year ago, why is this video all messed up? Hey, welcome everyone into chat. Let's get this normal. Let's get this a little bit more normal. We'll try to be a little bit normal. So when I started streaming a little over a year ago, I was going for Dataset's Grandmaster. And it's still kind of a goal of mine, but I did get a little bit less excited about it after a few months of grinding and not feeling like I got anywhere. Now, pretty cool thing just happened this past week. If I sort by the most votes, in order to become Dataset's Grandmaster and become a quadruple Grandmaster on Kaggle, I would need 5 gold and 5 silver medals. I currently have 5 silver and just recently bumped one up to another gold. So I got my 3rd gold in datasets, which is from this data set that we created on stream. This is actually, we wrote this code. I think it's this one. No, wait, this is the code that actually pulled the data set. And it pulls from the imf.org website every day and pulls exchange rates from around the world. So the IMF data set or website is, I wish I could find where the source of this is. Yeah, but this is the code. So we actually wrote this code that went and scraped their website and pulls down that data daily and then saves it as a Kaggle data set. So this has been running every single day, updating, and I got a vote on it. So now I got enough votes on it that now it is gold. What are people saying? I'm reading a feature engineering book this week. What feature engineering book? Let me know, Raul. Idea on how to handle unseen categories in inference data. You kind of need to make an unseen feature. or you need to lump them all together. It's really hard to create a machine learning model that can work on future data that has completely different categories. I mean, it's impossible to train the model on that data unless you have something similar to it. Just ignore that feature completely is what, I mean, that's the best thing I could think of. Okay, so where is our voting? So yeah, so what I was going to say is we a while ago started working on this USDA food data set, which basically has all of food that's sold in the US and all the calorie information, all that stuff. I was thinking this might be a cool thing to actually make into a Kaggle data set. And that hence is the this one, create food data set, that I'm proposing here as something that we could work on. Now, the other thing is the IceCube Kaggle competition. That's going to be a little bit more of a grind. I was looking at it just today, and there hasn't been much movement on the leaderboard. So we did look at this competition recently. The last stream we did was on this competition. So we didn't really do anything other than exploratory data analysis. And they actually have, as part of this, an early sharing prize where they're going to give a $5,000 cash prize to encourage participants to share information earlier and help make community make progress. Submit one or more notebooks before February 2nd. At what time is it? What time is it UTC? So this is past. This is past. Submit one notebook by February 2nd and publish them before February 4th. So that's the thing. We're a few days early on this. People are probably going to be sharing things in the coming days. And I know, I thought I saw Tito tweet about this, that he's going to be releasing what created hit. Well, there might be people up here releasing what they did to get to this point in the leaderboard so they can get the $5,000. What that also means is we could wait and look at this next stream and probably have more to look over. Instead of trying to grind away on this stream here, although the IceCube Kaggle competition did win. So do we want to stick with that? Why are you saying wait? Let's go for food this week. Yeah, I did not realize that there was this delay on the IceCube competition, or I actually didn't know anything about the dates for this public sharing. So let me close all these. IceCube overview, early sharing prize. Submit one or more notebooks by that time has passed and publish them before February 4th. The delayed publication intended to allow you to participate in early sharing prize without being concerned with someone else might resubmit your work. That makes sense. So a bunch of people are probably submitted their notebooks already. They got their leaderboard score and they're going to make it public soon. And then we'll be able to look at those. How often do I stream? It really depends. I've been struggling a lot lately to keep motivated, but I've tried to do it Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays. Most weeks I'll try to do at least one, maybe two of those days. The results was 4 IceCube times 3 data. I always changed my vote from food. Now 3 IceCube, 4. Oh, Mr. Gabriel changed his vote. Okay, so I think if I stream on Sunday, which I probably will stream on Sunday, we can look at some of the results of this code and try to implement them. One of the cool things, okay, so we'll look at this competition a little bit before jumping into the food data. So Gabriel, thank you for changing your vote. That makes things a lot easier. But before we jump into the food data, let's look at least the best score that was just released. It's interesting because it's using something that we had discussed last week in the stream. Let me load up what we did last time. So I had this Kaggle IceCube neutrinos. we had this EDA PCA baseline, and we started working on a PyTorch one. But this is what we looked at. So what I noticed was, or what we noticed on the stream, and I'm sure other people have noticed that they look at this data set, is that there's a time component to the data that's coming in that we've gotten. So these are all the sensors. Like if you think of them, it's like a 3D representation of every sensor that they have in this big ice device that's measuring neutrinos. And when they give us an event to predict on, then they tell us if auxiliary is true. If auxiliary equals true, they say that's probably just noise. So we could filter out just to the blue dots in this plot. And what we were seeing was that there are kind of like there's kind of one location where most of the events are condensed into, or they're found around, right? So we were looking at one example, I think. Yeah, this is it. So if we included these first blue dots, these early ones, they are kind of not within the line that represents the actual result that we're trying to predict. But if we remove them, then we kind of got this nice path that followed the line, at least the ones that fired in that second part aligned up with this line better. All that's to say, that's a long-winded way to say that this top public notebook now actually honed in on that idea. So I think I have it open here twice now. But what he did, so what Solver World did, was he added to the existing public notebook that just did ordinary least squares in order to find the way the line is fitted. He added this time window function. At least that's my understanding. I don't know the whole history of whose notebook did what parts of this, but I believe this is the new part he added. And basically what it does is it takes in this time representation of the data like we had up here, and it finds a window, the best window. Where are we? The window where the most amount of points exist in that window. So it's just an optimization function, and it looks like his starts in the center. He just takes the average minus 1,000 to plus 1,000. I guess he's only looking around this plus or minus 1,000 in the center and looking for the best set of points with a width of 4,000 that would represent, that would get the most amount. I mean, I think there might be a different way that we could optimize this to find the best points, or maybe he found that this worked the best. But it's interesting to see that it kind of plays off of what we saw in our EDA last week. I mean, this is kind of an angle that we were thinking about going down with this data set and actually filtering down to the points that actually matter. Does that make sense? MMD, welcome to the thing. Welcome to the stream. The IceCube thing is cool. Thanks. Squeal, you're late. You're never late. When you're here, that's when we start. You are the one that makes us on time. Anyway, so I think this competition is going to be really interesting. If you haven't watched the stream that we did last time, check that out. We talked a little bit about the data set and what it involves, and we'll probably take a deeper dive into some of those public notebooks next week once they come out. It's 3 a.m. for you, MMD? Go to bed, take a nap. You can watch this later. Yeah, definitely a very cool competition, but we're not going to jump into that tonight because you all voted and re-voted. We're going to look at the USDA food data. So let's go into the Twitch stream projects notebook folder. GitHub repo. I always hate these IPython notebook checkpoints. I have to delete that file. And then I'm already activated my correct conda environment. And let's just start off nice and fresh and clean and look at this USDA data and make a Kaggle data set out of it. Maybe we'll even possibly make it automated. Kind of like we did with that IMF data set. Hello, joining for the second time. Curious to see how you do. Thank you, Adrian. Welcome to the stream. Cheers to you. Hope you're all having a good night. I hope the sound is okay and the audio is not delayed too much. Definitely respect for MMMD, who's hanging out at 3 a.m. Where are you in the world? Okay, so we found this data set from this Food Central data website. I'm going to put this into the chat so you guys could see it. MMD, you want to ask a question? Ask away. Let's do it. Ask away. So we're using this website to pull the CSV format of all these historical data tables. First, are you sharing notebooks? Second, good books. Third, I'm from Portugal. Nice. I love all those things. Number one is I do, if I remember, if I'm working in a Kaggle notebook, I try to make those public and I share those with you. If I'm working locally, I try to work in this GitHub repo that I'm going to share with you guys. And that repo should have a lot of the stuff that we worked on in the Twitch streams. So you can see like, actually, yeah, I don't know. This is the very first thing I worked on was this roller coaster data set a year ago. And we did this all on live stream. Good books. There are a lot of good books. It's just a matter of what you're trying to learn about. So I'd say this is a good starting book if you're looking to start. Is Python for Data Analysis. It's completely free. There's an open access HTML version, and it'll get you started. Oh, shoot. Let me make sure I get the free version. I'm going to put this in the chat. This is a good book to get started with. And your third thing, I don't think was a question. Never used Twitch, so you're out. Okay, cool. That's just the name of this repo, though. How to study cloud for data science. It's tough. It kind of depends on which cloud platform you're working with. Okay, but let's look at this Food Data Central website and try to remember what we did before. We just did wget. So let's make this into a Kaggle notebook. I actually think we want to make this a Kaggle notebook. So then we can automate this. And then I definitely will share this so that everyone can see it. We're gonna get a nice emoji of a food. Let's get a hamburger in there. Copy this. Put this into our notebook title so we remember. And let's go ahead and do this. Let's create beautiful soup. Oh yeah, and do you guys like the dark theme? I think people usually like when I put the dark theme on, even though it's not. All right, so we're going to scrape USDA's Food Central data. We're going to use requests in Beautiful Soup. I'm old. I prefer light, but I'm game for other. Yeah, I think some people watching, like, they want it to be darker. I know that when I'm watching something and my wife's next to me in bed and it gets really bright, she's like, turn it off. Well, she doesn't yell at me, but she asked me politely, can you turn the light down? So I'm trying to help all you guys out with that. All right, so how did we do this before? We found all the links. Let's make a function called get USDA, get food links. And we'll put this URL in here, right? And then we'll return the links. Get food links. Let's see if this works. Now we have the links that should be all of the supporting data, all the data from the USDA. So we're going to go ahead and take this. And we're going to actually make a bunch of, okay, so this is all relative to here. We're going to actually need to download these data sets from USDA. So we've done this before. What's something recently that I've done this before with so I can just copy that code? SEC data. Didn't we do that with SEC data? We kind of did it here where, yeah, get links. We have this like exact same thing. I wonder if I can just take this and basically fork this notebook. Basically copy this. So instead of these links being from the SEC website, it's going to be from this URL. I'll comment this out because I'm not quite sure if that's correct. Base URL. Let's make a base URL, which is going to be this. Right? What? I don't know why there are all these weird spaces in here. So this is going to be our base URL plus this, and that's going to give us our zip files. It should give us our zip files. And then we'll see if we can do this step by step. Zips is going to be, yes, this is all of the zip files. So we got this correctly. Let's not forget about chat. What are you guys saying? You have an unzip function I've seen on your GitHub. Yeah, I have this. If you use dark reader extension, that's what I'm using. Set this configs. I think it looked prettier. Bright plus 20, contrast minus 20, gray plus 15. Okay. Bright plus 20. I love this. Contrast minus 20. Ooh, nice. Gray plus 15. I like this. Ooh, look at this hack. There it is. How's that look? Better? I've never seen web scraping before. Used to use Twint sentiments. Yeah, you like this better? I do too. Thank you for the tip. Okay, so this links, it looks like it works, so we can get all the zip files. Is this freezing on me or what's the deal? Come on, Kaggle notebook. Are you frozen? Don't freeze on me now. Look, it won't even let me scroll. Come on. Come on, Kaggle. just when we need you the most. Kaggle, you got to go. Let's go sit cross-legged because we know we're serious. We're going to reset this and scrape USD central data. Let's add some more info. In this notebook, we will create a pipeline for pulling data from the USDA's website about food. And then we'll say this stuff, this stuffy stuff. Format into folders. There we go. These are our helper functions for doing so. We already have our zips working. So basically this gets a list of all the zip files. Should we do zips.sort? I guess that doesn't really matter. It'll just pull the supporting data first. Now let's see if download zips. So let's do this again. We're just going to test it out here on the first 5. So we'll try to download the first 5 and see how it does. Okay, so TQDM is not defined. From TQDM, auto import TQDM. TQDM gives us our progress bar. URL lib is not defined. So let's go to SEC creation dataset and make sure I have all this stuff imported. Basically, we want this and not what we have imported up here. Let's go ahead and reset this notebook. Factory reset. Whoa, they changed that name. Now it's more official. Hi, Rob. How are you doing today? Swapped. I am doing great. I'm glad I started streaming tonight. I've been trying to get myself motivated because I've been in a little bit of a rut. But now that I've started this, I feel a lot better. I feel like we're on to something here tonight. What do you guys think? Random question. Does GitHub Copilot help with data science? It's helped me some recently. Any good books you recommend to learn Python? Yes, I just sent a link to one that I suggested. This Wes McKinney's free book. I'll put it there again for you, my friend. All right, we're trying to download these first 5 zip files, and then we'll see where we put them locally. So our download zips basically just takes URL lib and then retrieves that zip folder. And we have it just putting in our base folder here. So let's see what this looks like once it's done. It's only taking 20 seconds for 5 files. What's the length of our zips? 52. So 52 times 30 divided by 60. So it would take 26 minutes. Is that right? Oh, because this was 5. So it would take 5 minutes to complete downloading all of them if we did it. But if we do ls-l, this will show us all the files that we downloaded here. We also have this notebook source. But we want to see now if we try to unzip these files, if it'll work. So it's basically just going to unzip it here into our local directory. So this code, we do glob on all the local zip files. Then we pull out just the file name, which is that last part. And then we use shutil unpack archive, which is basically unzip, to unzip these files. And then if delete zip equals true, we'll delete that zip file name. We probably should have run a time on that to see how long it will take. Let's see. And I also would like to see how big these files are. I guess I can look at them locally. We could also add a TQDM to here. It might make it nicer in the future so we can see the progress of the unzipping. All right, let's do gflash on this, which will give us our pretty output. Now we have a folder for each file. So if I do of food data, central foundation, yeah, look, all of these food files are within each folder. So I'm pretty happy with this. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Use TQM on your... What are you talking about? Have you tried Pandas API on Spark? I haven't. I need to try Spark. Josh said, what's up? I love your videos. Been learning Pandas recently. Man, it's tough. Hey, once it clicks for you, it'll be a lifesaver. Is Kathleen Linux based? Is Kaggle Linux based? Yeah, this is like a Linux environment running Jupyter is basically what Kaggle notebooks are. Man, I really appreciate the suggestion that you guys gave me to change the dark theme. I like this a lot better. And chat's going a little bit too fast for me. So I hope there's nothing I missed. It's crazy, right? Python statement by statement in a notebook compared to object-oriented program. I mean, everything's object-oriented in Python. Hello, what am I doing? We're scraping data from the food data central dataset. That's a mouthful. But we're about to run this on everything. So this is going to create our final data set. Basically, we want this zips to be everything. So let's debug first. If debug equals true, we'll just make this the first two. Just so we know, and then we're gonna LSG flash the output, but then when we don't need any of this stuff. All right, so let's try this just to make sure it works on two. And then we'll run this and save this for all of them. And I will share this link with you. So surprisingly, it seems like unzipping takes longer than it takes to download the files. What does debug do? I'm just making a debug thing here so that we can test and make sure that this code runs before running it on all of the files. And you know what it's actually doing? It's probably hanging up because it needs to replace the files that we've already downloaded. I'm guessing that's why it failed. So I'm going to restart the whole session, which will clear all that data that we downloaded into the base directory. And we're going to start from scratch. No, object-oriented programming is not as declarative. New paradigm to learn. Yeah, I don't know if I'm doing this right, but I'm doing it. We're doing it, people. All right, so this worked, and we have this branded food. Should we also... Let's add some logging. Let's add some logging because I made a short video on logging. And let's just make like a very basic logger. Let's set up the basic config like this. And then we could say here, logging.info, and say we're downloading the file name. And then add here logging.info, and let's just add download, starting download, right? And then we can put this here, starting unzip. And then we can say unzipping, and this is called FN. All right, so this should be a little bit nicer. We'll reset again. Factory reset. Boom. Oops, failed to fetch. I'm not sure what that means. Cannot save. Ooh, I really screwed this up. I added a comment. What did your comment say? Why use logging rather than print statement? I don't know. There's a lot of reasons why you'd use logger. So you can log, you can set the stream to go to a file and standard out or standard error, or you can set logging levels afterwards. If you're doing multi-threading, print statements don't work very well. They work well when you're use logger. It's just a good practice to get into because you can also add things like the level name, the message itself. What else? Other reasons to use logger. Logging is used a lot by that guy AI. Oh, I don't know who that is. Or maybe I do. I just am not remembering. Chris, I recently got on your recommendation. Love the channel. Thank you. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. Please make sure if you like the channel, just share stuff with your friends. No, like the videos, watch them all the way through, send the link button, write a bunch of comments, everything to help the algorithm out. All right, I'm going to start to just refresh this. It's really not liking me right now. I was mean to it earlier. Yeah, so another thing is like if we had all these logging statements in here and we actually didn't want it to show all the info logging, like those are just too verbose for us, we only have to go here once and change the logging level. And then everything else would, it would only show at the level that we're logging at. Loguru, is that better than logger? Wow, this really, really doesn't like me right now. Loguru is Latin for logger. Okay. Brought to you by NordVPN. I'm not sponsored. This is not a sponsored stream. It's easier to set up the way you want it. Okay. I'm just so used to... Oh, wait, not Swagger. Loguru. Let's look at this. Oh, I think someone's mentioned this before in stream. From Loguru input logger, logger.debug. Ten times faster than built-in logging. And then they crossed it out. I don't know why they did that. Yeah, this looks pretty handy. Like, I definitely need to look into this one. Thank you for mentioning La Guru. Oh, so you just do logger to add file, give it a format level message. That's pretty cool. It seems similar to the default logger, but a lot of this just seems like a better API, maybe. Okay, where are we on this? Did this run? It did. It ran. Now we're going to turn... Wait, but our logging should have shown. Right? Shouldn't we have seen the logging output? Let's remove -R. Make sure we removed everything. And then try running this again. Hey, Zishan, you didn't need to donate, but I appreciate that. That's really nice of you. Wanted to say to make very dope and interesting content. Keep it up. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I appreciate you checking out my videos and stuff. Link the dataset or challenge, please. Sure. I was going to get this running first, and then I'm going to save it. I think it's working, so let's see if I can run this. And then I'm going to go to settings here, and I'm going to make it public, very, very public. And I'm going to save the changes. I'm going to go to the notebook here, which is currently running, so you guys probably can't see it. But I'm going to put it in the chat. So when it is done running, let's run it in incognito. Do you think the Kaggle guy will clone your data set again? Oh, maybe. The guy who cloned my my other data set? Maybe. I don't want to sound rude stalker. Like, is there any way to chat with me? MMMD, isn't it like 4 a.m. for you right now? The best way to chat with me is through Discord. Just message in our Discord group. So that doesn't come up, I'm realizing, in the YouTube chat. So that's the link. You can join our Discord and hang out and ask questions there. And then let's look at this version. It's still running, and there are no logs. Wait, are there logs? There should be logs. All right, this reset now. Loading widget. So it's like it's having trouble with TQDM. I'm not sure what's going on. Like, why is this? Let's remove all the zip files. Could it be that the logger screwed up TQDM, or do I just need to refresh this? In Kaggle, can we import Tinker? Yeah, you can pip install like anything. TQDM version issue. Let me print TQDM version. That's the thing. I imported TQDM from TQDM, so I don't know what version we're running. Let's try debugging. I think it's more probably an issue with the Kaggle notebook right now than it is anything. So we think it'd be about 5 minutes to download the files and probably longer to actually run them. So another thing I can do is I can actually download this. So I can go to File, download the notebook, boom, go over here to my stream projects, go into our food data. We can remove start.zip files from here. Remove those folders, and then we can copy this from our download directory, which is called food data scrape, to here, and then run this locally also, just to make sure it's working. So this is the exact same notebook that we just ran, but a local version. And a lot of times that gets rid of some of the errors that we see with running it in the notebook. No module named TQDM. Okay, so pip install TQDM. Obviously, it's going to have different versions of some stuff. Why don't you run a notebook locally in VS Code? Likely faster and more reliable. Recently, I have been. It's just like a more of a feel thing that feels strange to me sometimes, but I have been, to answer your question. iProgress is not found. Okay. I have this new Conda environment I'm working in, so I'm installing everything fresh on purpose in 2023. It's like start off the new year with a new Conda environment. But that means that I have to install a lot of this stuff from scratch. Okay, so now our logging statements are working, and it's saying that it's downloading all of them. We're going to turn the debug off. And we could see in here, these files aren't that big. I guess we're currently downloading this Food Data Central CSV, this 2021-1028. And now it's done. So it's about 304 megabytes. If we also go here, they have them listed, how big they are in each one of them. So it looks like these Brandon Foods ones are really the big ones. And then full download all data types is also big. So we will have this local version that we can work on with also. Why are you not using virtual environment? I like using Conda environments instead of virtual environments. I don't know, just personal preference. For and while loop, explain it a little bit. Okay, so someone did mention using VS Code. I do have VS Code here. And we could open up the notebook in it. Like granted, if I'm actually working on like a script or something, I will be writing that in VS Code. But yeah, here's the VS Code version. The thing is, the keyboard shortcuts sometimes get stuck for me in this. And also my Python environment needs to be this one. Yeah, it works. It works. When you create a new environment, do you not use a requirements.txt for all your typical libraries you use? I actually don't create environments that often. But yeah, if I have a project like a GitHub repo with a requirements.txt, you can just pip install -r. But I purposely wanted to keep this one bare bones and then add on to it. Hand pink waving? Hey, what's up? Trusty VS Code. Yeah, so you guys like VS Code better? So now I have this weird situation where we're downloading from one notebook, we're running in VS Code in another one, so I'm like halfway in between. But let's go ahead and... Oh shoot, your notebook tried to use more disk space than available? What are you talking about? How much disk space is available in these notebooks? I thought it was a lot. $73 gigs. There's no way this was more than 73 gigs. So I need to figure out what's happening in this notebook. No space left on device? Something went wrong. It must be like infinitely unzipping files or something. I guess we're going to find out on the local version. All right, so this... Why didn't it delete the zip file? Okay, so it did delete the zip file, and it's 2.7 gigs. Why is it 2.7 gigs? Maybe it's just a lot bigger than I realized. And they compress a lot because they're so sparse of data. Should I only be getting these main ones, these Food Data Central full download all data types? Here's the thing that doesn't make sense to me. Does this full download of all data types include everything up here? There's no way it could, because this file is only 304 megabytes. And the brand and food ones for October 2022 is 334. So how could the all data types be bigger than? Let's make sure I'm not down. Oh, this has like these access files. Oh, shoot. We don't want these access ones. How big are those? Still not very big. All right, so what I need to do here is two things. I need to stop this. We're going to restart this. We're actually going to shut this down completely so I don't get confused. We're going to shut down our Jupyter kernel. We're going to move completely over to VS Code, so I'm only in one spot. Then we are going to go ahead and go here. And we're going to compare some of these, what we've already downloaded. So I'm going to take 2021 1028. Let's make a directory called test. Then I'm going to move 2021 star.2021. Let's do the latest one, 2022-04 into test. Then if I go into test, these are all the April 2022 files that we have. We have branded food, which is smaller than, this one's actually smaller than the complete one. So I'm hoping this actually has everything in it. Let's unzip Food Data Central CSV, this. Then go into here. And this could be all we need to download, really. If I do LCWC-L, that's 39 files-ish. And then let's unzip branded food CSV. Oh, we're also downloading all the JSON versions. There's a lot wrong with what we just did. So we're going to figure this out. We're going to figure this out for sure. By default, PyCharm creates a new VM environment for each project. Yeah, I haven't used PyCharm in a long time. Do a line count on the extracted file. You have to change the D types as mentioned in the video to yeah. We're gonna do that for sure, for sheezy. I just want to make sure that I want to make sure that in this one base file we have everything we want, like all the branded food. All right, so top here is the branded food unzipped. Bottom here is like the full food unzipped. So let's head this food.csv and then head. So these look the same. All right, so in the bottom one, we have food.csv, which is 134 megs, and 709 for branded food. So these looks like they're the same. Can I do like a diff on this branded food CSV? And our food data central branded food CSV 2022-28. Oh, we want to diff the branded food with this. Yes. Yeah, so they're exactly the same. They're exactly the same. What does that tell us? That tells us we need to filter down in here which files I'm actually trying to download, because we were going way too far with it. We weren't putting those guardrails up that we needed. Is Pandas really not installed in this environment? Why is it under squiggly lining my pandas? Hello from Brazil, Pedro. What's up? What are you working on? New to channel. We are trying to download data from the USDA Food Data Central. This is the data set. This is a notebook we tried to run, but didn't work yet. So why don't I run this just on the first two? Debug equals true and try to save this version. But before I do that, let's work locally and try to find out a subset of these zip files that we want to run on. So if I look at zips, I think we just want the CSV versions. We can use list comprehension in here. Z for Z and zips. If underscore CSV underscore in Z. So actually, I think they're all going to be this food central underscore CSV underscore. There we go. Now we only have these files that we're going to actually want to keep. Hello from Taiwan. We got people from Taiwan, people from Brazil. Clever list comprehension. Yeah, for sure. So this is actually going to be our zips that we want. Subset zips just to the main data. So we're going to also go into here, and we're just going to start from scratch just to make sure this is working locally. Just to make sure this is working locally, I'm going to go into here, and I'm going to remove star.zip and remove test. And remove those checkpoints because those annoy me. Levy Nunes, welcome to the chat. My man. All right, so how big is this going to be? How long is it going to take? These are all things we want to know. Widget requires us to download supporting from a third-party website. Enable downloads. Come on, Copilot. So these are all the big files, and that's why it's taking them a while to download. But let's assume that this will work. This is a better way for us to do it locally, so let's also try to see if we can do it in this notebook and actually get this to work. So debug is false. We're going to save this version. We're going to run it. That way you guys can see this version once it's done running. Hello from Chile. Nice. I love it. I think on my Twitch stream. Well, okay. So you guys are, a lot of you guys are on YouTube. But on the Twitch stream, you could see the countries that are represented here. So at least on Twitch, we got 11 USA, 2 from Japan, and 2 from Canada. Pretty cool. So definitely check us over on Twitch if you haven't already. Oh, Canada. That's right. You guys remember when we did that on stream? You're an OG if you remember that. Okay, so now this version is actually running. We're going to let this run. Going to close this. Yeah, we were downloading like all these access files, and we're downloading like multiple versions of the same stuff. I don't know what FNDDS is. Oh, these are all like the really old data sets. We'll leave this for another time. I don't understand how these are so small. So small. All right, our local version, starting download, G Flash. We've gotten most of the way through these. And we're also running on Kaggle. What are we doing? We're downloading data from the FCC? No, the Food and Drug Central place. I'm going to put the notebook in here. Thank you for my videos. Yeah, thanks for hanging out. +1 from Brazil on Twitch. Let's see. Is Brazil moving up? Yes, Brazil's gone up to 5. Represent Brazil. Love it. I love it. All right, so this one's running on Kaggle. Ideally, we'd have it running on Kaggle because that way, when they release this every year, it looks like twice a year, we can have this automatically run every 6 months and download the latest data and put it all in the same format. The next thing, as someone else mentioned, is we're going to try to go through this data once it's unzipped and actually put it into like a workable format. We can also change out a lot of these CSV files for Parquet formats and try a handful of other stuff. Why is this like ampersand in here? Let's go Argentina. Yes. Can you find who is Russian? Hey. It is what it is. Brazil is definitely in the house. Brazil and Argentina just took over Canada and Japan like it was nothing. Like it was nothing. They were relegated. Love from Taiwan. Nice. I love this global community we have going on here. Oh, whoa. What is this? This community of peeps. Okay, so starting to unzip, and then it unzipped them all. And then we have this unzip also remove the files. So now if we look at this, we have all of our files with our data, okay? So this notebook, I think, is Dunsky. It's good to go. And also, let's see how much disk space it's using now. DU-H, that's 11 gigabytes. That's a lot of data. If you think about it just being a bunch of food data, that seems like a lot to me. But it's not 74, so it shouldn't break the kernel, the notebook, like it did before. Hey, look, this is done. Version 3 of 3 is done, running on Kaggle. So now if we refresh this, can someone check this out for me? I'm going to put this. Hello from India. Yes. What time is it in India? You up early? Are you up late? Yes, you can see it. Okay, so this notebook is public. You can see all the code we did to download the data. And we're going to go to the output, and we're going to actually create a data set from this new data set. Keep data in sync with new notebook versions. USDA, is it USDA? Food Data Central Database. Should we add the burger? Should we add the burger to the dataset name? Hey! Freezy just subscribed. Thank you for subscribing. I usually do this. I spin this wheel whenever we get a subscriber. Spin this wheel. And I do whatever it says to do. Hey, we got another Michael. Thank you. You guys don't need to, but hey, I'm going to have to scream Kevin here. Kevin! That was for you. Thank you so much for the subscribing. And again, what's it going to land on? Tell a dad joke. Okay, so here's my dad joke. I haven't told a dad joke in a while. Can someone send me a link to a good dad joke? Where do boats go when they get sick? Does anyone know where boats go when they get sick? To the boat dock. That is a rare one. I don't usually land on that one. But yeah, thank you guys for subscribing. Michael to 20 and Freezy. All right, let's go back to our code. I'm going to rename this to EPI notebook, and I'm realizing that I got thrown off there. We need to finish this. So we're making this a data set. We're going to create it, and then we'll make that public. Good night, guys. Already 4 a.m. here in Morocco. Whoa, thanks for staying up late for me. Or you might have been staying up late anyways, but thanks for hanging out with us late. So write that down. The best ideas is to say, so write that down after any dad joke. That's hilarious. I like that. Sasha, that is A+. So write that down. That's so dad-like. Okay, so I think the data set is being created, I hope. We can refresh this in a little bit. The way it should work is if this notebook ran and I made a data set from it, then it should stay in sync with this notebook, and I can set up a schedule for it to run, and we'll have it run like every month, let's say. How often do you come live? I used to do it 3 times a week, but now it's been like once a week, Tuesday, Thursdays, or Sunday, but sometimes more. If there's all this fun, maybe more. Will the script be available? Yes, I already sent out the link. But it's also, if you go to kaggle.com /RobXCube, which is my account. If you just search my name, Kaggle, you go to datasets. Hey, you can upvote a lot of my datasets. Feel free to do that if you like them. But you can also go to new. And actually, it wouldn't be in here. It would be in code. Recently run, and it's right here. Okay, so I've had this happen before where I try to create a new data set from this, but I've already created one. It just has a 404 error. Should I try again? Maybe just try one more time, and if it doesn't work, create new data set, enter data set title, USDA, food data central database. Keep in sync, create. It's going to error out if it's already creating something with this name. Okay, so it's actually processing this time. That's a good sign. Hey man, come more often. This is the kind of live stream all upcoming data scientists need. Yeah, it's fun. It's definitely fun. We've been doing it for like a year or so. No, it was loading while after you click the button. Oh, so it might still fail. Let's refresh this. Yeah, that's definitely down. Uh-oh, upload failed. Please try later. I don't know why it's saying please try later. Let's try food health data. Let's try creating a new name, not syncing it maybe. Maybe it's too many files. Maybe I need to file a ticket about this not working. But if this one fails, we'll just keep on working locally. So we're going to make this a notebook file. Let's just copy most of this in. And let's make sure I'm using this latest version. Wow, everything's installed. Okay, so we're going to do a star on this, start at CSV. This will show us all of the CSV files. I think we want branded files. But there are not that many ones that only have branded food in them. What's going on here? Food? Input food, branded food. Food calorie conversion factor, food portion, food nutrient source. Just straight up food, foundation food. I would think each folder should have a branded food CSV file. But it doesn't. Does everyone have its own food folder? No. So let's go in and see what's going on here. This 2019, 12, 17. Does have a food file. What's one that doesn't? Nothing from 2020. Oh, it's like a subfolder within that folder? Why did it do that? Whoever zipped these files did it different each year. So if I add a star here and then do branded food, that's annoying. Basically, I want to take all of these files that are 2 directories deep and move them up one. So how do I do that? So move all files 2 directories deep. Up one directory. So if I do a glob on star dot star dot like this will give us all the filers that are. It's almost 5:40 for me here, and I will go to sleep and watch the live recording. Yeah, you can watch the recording. Use from TQDM contrib logging, import logging, redirect TQDM when you want to log. Oh, is that what was going wrong? MMD, why are you still up? You said it was late for you and you're going to bed. I mean, I'm not yelling at you. I'm just, hey man, come here office kind of live streams. Oh yeah, that was from earlier. Thanks. Okay, so So we can use pathlib. We want to use move files. I mean, I know I could go. Okay, so I think what I've done here is I've created a list of files to move. For file in files to move. Move. Let's see if Copilot can help us up here. Move the file up one directory. Let's see what it does here. Come on, give me something, Copilot. This might work. So it should take all downloaded table record counts from this directory and have moved it up one directory. Let's see if that worked. It didn't work. So it took this and it moved it to the base directory. Yeah, it moved it here. That's no bueno. It should be in this 2020 1030 directory. There we go. So what we want it, this is in split. That's this. And then the file name. Zero. And we want the new file to be this. Right? We want it to be like that. So this is and let's see if this works. Yeah, I had it break here. So let's just make sure this last file name that we ran it on worked. Food nutrient conversion factor. Yeah, now the food nutrient conversion factor is in the right spot. So let's go ahead and run this on everything. And now let's do this. And we see it's all here. We could actually remove those directories, but it's fine to have empty directories. And now let's look at all branded food. So this will be */branded food.csv. Now we have them all. Look at that. Path.resolve.parents up one dir. Oh, nice. So this is a way to use pathlib. Why isn't this letting me copy? Copy. Could have used pathlib. Something like this. But the way we did it worked. So now we have all branded. We haven't even looked at data. So these are all of our branded CSVs. See, this is the sort of stuff that Copilot doesn't necessarily help that much with. It's trying to autocomplete all my stuff into things that don't make sense, like making a head statement on that. Benjamin, what's up? Welcome to the stream. D-type warning, have mixed types. So we're going to have to do low memory equals false. What's a food? What's a type of food that you guys like? Type it in chat. Type the type of food that you like the most. I'm talking like pizza, soup. Someone in chat tell me a food. Tacos. Here, we got to vote for tacos. Steak, spaghetti, watermelon. Come on, Tex. Spicy. Someone just said spicy. My favorite food is spicy. Okay. Let's go ahead and do a low memory equals false on this. Portuguese something of okay. First person said beyond here lies nothing, said tacos. So we're going to go with tacos. There's not that many columns actually. What's the shape of this data? So it's more than 1 million branded foods. And we're only pulling from the first CSV file, which is from 2022. I think that's probably the most recent one. Indian curries. Keep the food comments coming. I like it. Brand owner ingredients. Branded food category. Let's look at these. Maybe we could do it in here. Maybe in the branded food category, there's going to be some tacos. So let's just look at the top 20 branded food categories. Let's auto format this so it looks a little bit prettier, and let's add a title. Top brand food categories. So we do have salsa in here, but let's try to see, can we find tacos? Can we find tacos? See, this is where I don't like that I can't switch this easily to a markdown cell. There we go. Now it works. Let's see the number of unique ones in here. 359. So we should make this as type category. Let's set this type to be category. And let's see if anything contains taco. The other thing here is we want to see if it contains taco. And fill in A with false. So it's not going to contain taco because we need to lower the text because we didn't have uppercase and lowercase. And now we go to branded food calorie and value counts on this. And taco shells is what we have. So we do have 7 different. Did you use a keyboard shortcut to swap from cell from code to markdown? Yes, I do. I have a whole video on this on YouTube. So usually I do it. Oh, geez. in a normal notebook. And if you do escape M, it'll make it a markdown. This is markdown. If I go from M to Y normally, then this is code. It's much smoother in the actual notebook. Oh, there's an ignore case. Nice. So you're saying I can do this. Flags, read ignore case. I didn't even need to import That's weird. So let's do this. And let's see. DF taco shells. Let's do a copy of this. A lot of old El Paso here. What's the shape of this? Only 7. So it's all old El Paso. It's not going to be that interesting to compare. Hey, bro, what's up? Ultimate Skosh Sakshem? Hopefully I said that right. So maybe let's look at this branded food categories that are a little bit more frequent, since the taco shells aren't really showing up as being that popular. Let's look at some candy, why isn't cereal in candy? BDA233, thank you for subscribing. We're going to spin the wheel for you. Levivix DVC, maybe? Data version control? Scream Kevin again. Kevin! I did it. For you. Thank you for subscribing. You know what? Dips and salsa would be kind of fun. Also, just looking at sodas, that would be fun. Everyone likes sodas, right? Except for people that don't. It looks like there's a lot of sodas. Is there other ones that is like drinks? Fruit and vegetable juice and fruit drinks. Breads and buns. In Texas, we call sodas Coke. Yes. And up north or in Midwest, they call it pop, right? What? It says sodas here. Oh, soda. Soda. Let's see the brand name. So we should see like Coca-Cola up here at the top. Okay, so it doesn't have Coca-Cola up here. Well then, we need to figure out why. We do flags, ignore case. Look, Copilot automatically did that. We're going to have to fill in A as false. So Coca-Cola. This should be a soda, in my opinion. Okay, so that's in non-alcoholic beverages ready to drink. That should be up here then. Is that up here? Does every company just get a pick their own branded food category? What's going on here? Let's see if we do this same thing with non-alcoholic beverages ready to drink and see the brand name counts. What? Looks like it has a weird space in it. There we go. Polar, V8, Welch's, Gatorade, Coca-Cola. These are all the big names that we were expecting to see. Is Pepsi here? Pepsi's here. Okay. So now we got, instead of saying let's compare sodas, let's say let's compare non-alcoholic beverages ready to drink. All right. But I'm going to call this sodas. And I'm going to copy this. Make sure we have a copy of it. And see how many we have. All right, so over 5,000, almost 6,000 sodas. That's only the top 20 categories. Yeah, this is top 20. I was just thinking, shouldn't sodas or non-alcoholic beverages ready to drink be in the top 20? Because there's so many different of those. Let's see if we can find some interesting information like, okay, serving size. Let's sort values by the serving size. Let's see what the biggest serving size you can get is. Ascending equals false. We'll look at the top one. QTG is 960 milliliters. Oh, that's another thing we should check. Is what is the serving size unit? All right, so we have gallons and milliliters. We need to take it when it's gallons and convert it to milliliters so they're all in the same format. Convert gallons to milliliters. Should we trust Copilot on this? Let's locate where serving I'm getting all screwed up by Copilot. Let's see where it's gallons. It's just a G. That value is correct. 1 gallon is that many milliliters. Okay, so let's take every time where this is G, which is 95 rows. And we're going to take serving size. And we're going to multiply it by gal to ml. That can't be right because that would be way too many G means to be gallons or grams. Oh. Yeah, you're right. Okay, so it's just dividing it by this. Does that look better? Still really high, right? It's correct. I don't think it is. Because then it would be larger than every other serving size we have. You know what? We're just gonna scrap that for now. Yeah, definitely more reasonable than the gallons one, but let's try to figure this out. Did they just put the wrong thing in? Because 240 milliliters would make sense. If we look at the serving size for sodas, $360 is the most common, and then 240 for milliliters, that is. And then for this G unit, key error serving size. That's right, because I'm doing this. So this is 243 is the most common one, which would seem like it's actually the same unit. I think they're just messed up. $100 per year? What? Is Copilot free for everyone? No, yeah, it costs money. It was free and then they started charging me. And I haven't turned it off yet. I still want to try it out. All right, so serving sizes. This QTG, it has a huge serving size. Why? And what is this beverage? FDC ID. So we want to pull in, see, this is the autocomplete that I don't actually like with Copilot. I want to actually autocomplete. So let's turn Copilot off. Disable for Python. Survey FNDDS food. We want to find what actual FDC ID lines up with. So let's actually go here. And actually, let's go into that directory. And I think there's like a PDF file or something that explains it. Oh, I'm in the wrong directory. (2022-04). We're going to open this, and there are no PDF files. The PDF file's in here. So we've looked at this before, I think, to try to get an idea. So what I want to do is find FDC ID. So this should be a unique identifier for the food in the table. Yeah, unique permanent identifier of a food in the food table. So do I need to join this with the food table? Let's see all the places FD. This is like our column that we can join stuff on. Acquisition date, market class, treatment, and state. That's not information I'm interested in. Branded food. This is the file that we're looking in right now. The brand owner of the food, the list of ingredients, the amount of serving. All right, that's fine. Food class for internal use only. Okay, that seems like I want to look at it. Data type. Description of the food. So it's in the food. Just the straight up food file. So what was the file name that we pulled in all this from? I pulled in this one, and now I just want to pull in food. Probably need low memory equals false. Oh, no, we don't. So now we have all the FDC IDs and then a description of it. So if we do soda merge food how equals left, and then we're going to validate that on the, it should be a 1-to-1 mapping, I'm pretty sure, but we'll find out. Okay, so now this did work. Just checking to make sure that we have the same number of rows on the left as we did before and after. And now we have this description column. So this is going to go up here. Badowski, do you have a license? What is Badowski? Copilot is still pretty amazing to me. It is nice. It is pretty cool. Certain things though, when I want to work fast in a notebook, it's like, come on, Copilot, just step aside for a second. So now if we sort by this, we have this QTG, which is the hugest serving size we've ever seen. I want to see what this freaking product is. It's called Gatorade Fierce Blood. What in the world? Gatorade Fierce Blood and Intense Strawberry Thirst Quencher 32 fluid ounce plastic bottle. And the serving size is actually 32 ounces. Gatorade, what are you doing? What are you doing making your serving size? I feel like this is an outlier to the extent that it might not actually be true. But it does say 32 fluid ounces. Okay, so this is just stupid. Why did they say just plastic bottle? That doesn't help us out. So the columns that we're interested in now is, let's say this FDCID, brand owner, brand name, Okay, so the brand owner and brand name are pretty similar. Package weight, modified date, available date. Short description. What's a short description? Just spring water. All right, so I think we need to go back to the PDF and see what else this FDC ID can be joined on to give us something interesting. Or can I think I've done this before. We can just take this FDC ID, open up a incognito window, and search for it. So this is not giving us FDC dash, maybe? Gatorade. No. So I thought maybe if I just searched that, it would give me the, it would give me like a link to it. Nope. These are not working. So all we know is like this is a bottle of spring water. We don't know we want to know like calories, nutrients. That's the stuff we want to know. And then we want to actually link it to the legit name. Food component, gram weight, data points, min year acquires. That's weird. Food nutrient. All right, so let's pull in the nutrients. Pull in How do you spell nutrients? So this should be in food data. Nutrient.csv. Is this ID the FDC ID? No. This is not it. Food nutrient. And it looks like there is no file called food nutrient. No, there is. And there's a conversion factor table. Is this a big one? 1.3 gigs. Sheesh. That's the big one. Is this going to load? All right, what are you guys saying? Gatorade is owned by Coca-Cola and Powerade is owned by Pepsi. Ooh. You know what would be really interesting is seeing what company actually owns all these brands. I think that's what this brand owner column is supposed to tell us, Prism. Like if Coca-Cola owns it, I think the brand owner column should say that, but we can look that up. What happened to the ICE data? We talked about that earlier, Imposter Engineer, to fill you in. They're having like a early sharing competition where people are supposed to share what they've learned just in the first few weeks, but they're not releasing that for another few days. Those probably won't be public for another few days. So it seems a little bit strange to actually, it seems like we should hold off on diving into that until Sunday, at least when all those are released, because then we can look at those. Okay, I think I see what's going on here. All right, let's just take something from our sodas that we, like something I'm familiar with, like query should we do it like this? We want the brand owner to be Coke, maybe. Fill in A is false. This is where Copilot could be helpful. We want it to be flags. What did we do before? Flags equals ignore case. The Coca-Cola Company. All right, so the Coca-Cola Company, Minute Maid Sparkling, Coca-Cola. Let's actually find where the brand name is Coca-Cola. Just something we know. This is like the main Coca-Cola FDC ID. Let's see if we Google this one, if anything comes up. Nope. We got Coke Zero. Wait, is there Coke Zero? Coca-Cola Cherry Zero. Okay, let's take this one as our example. This Coca-Cola Cherry Zero with FDIC equals this. So we're going to query the FDC ID equals this, which is our Coca-Cola Cherry Zero. Does it have 7-Up? I'm sure it does. The profit shot. You've been learning stuff from the stream. Awesome. They're from the videos. I appreciate that. All right. So we now have this nutrient ID. So this is just one product, a very specific product. But in this nutrient data set, we have the nutrient ID and the amount. How is it all 0? What in the weird? What is this? Nutrient ID, the ID of the nutrient which the food nutrient pertains. All the amounts are 0. Come on, Coca-Cola. Blue Sky 0. Cherry Vanilla. Is that going to give us something? Jeez. Let's even go big. Let's just see if any of the sodas FDC ID unique. Let's go into this and call this soda IDs, right? Let's see if any of these are in soda IDs. And yeah, okay, so now we have some amounts that are not equal to. So this is the soda nutrients. We'll reset this index, drop it, and copy this. Need to figure out why some of these are just straight up 0. More decimals? Maybe. 100 milligram is too little. Do you think a word cloud of ingredients could be... yeah, potentially. Let's try to do that. Ingredients for... But I want to find out why the amounts could be 0. So we don't even know what these nutrient IDs are. Let's do this. Soda nutrients, nutrient name, no, nutrient ID value counts. So we'll at least find the most common nutrient IDs, 1003. But we don't know what the nutrient IDs are because we need to read in. We need to read in nutrient CSV. That's not details. So now we should be able to set this index as the ID and take the name. Unit name. Why does it have a rank? Let's just try to merge this onto here. Soda nutrients. Soda nutrients. Merge these nutrients left, validate 1-to-1. I mean, it is cool that Copilot will automatically do that stuff for me. But shouldn't we have a column now that has this name? But they're null here. Oh, I know what I did wrong. So we need to do this. That's why we shouldn't just trust left on nutrient ID and right on, it's just going to be straight up ID. And then we'll add some suffixes. So this is going to be underscore nutrient, and the left is going to be nothing. Yep. Okay, so here we go. Merge not unique in the left data set, not many to one. So this actually should be a many to one because the nutrients can be repeated in the left side, but not in the right. So let's group by the name of the nutrient and do the amount and sum that. Let's do that. Why is my phone buzzing? FDC ID isn't unique. I think it is. Oh, well, it's not going to be unique in the nutrient data set, correct. But in our food data set above here, like this sodas, if I look at sodas and I do FDC ID, value counts on this, they're all 1. If I do it on our soda nutrients, it's repeated depending on the amount. How do I say this? Depending on the number of nutrients in that food. So I think what I could do is soda nutrients group by I kind of want to merge the data information too. The food on FDCID many to one again. This should give us the name of the food. There we go. Now if we group by the name, I think we're going to do something cool here, and then we'll take a little break. But here we go. The name is the name of the nutrients. So we kind of want to group by the FDCID so it's a unique thing. Take the name. And then take the amount and like do a sum. And then do like unstack or something. Fill in A as 0. So what is this doing? This gives us each unique unit, each unique soda in our data set here is on the left side. And now we have a column for each nutrient that's available. Now, not many of them don't have anything for the nutrients, so keep that in mind. So this is like a pivoted version of it. And what can we do with this? If we sum and sort values here, this tells us, wait, energy is the top. What the? How is energy? How can I highlight an outlier using confident interval, both lower limit and upper limit? Use Seaborn, Raj. Good night, MMD. Thanks for hanging out. That's like the 5th time I've said that tonight. Please sleep. It's really important for your health. Why is energy? What is energy? Is energy a nutrient? Energy equals calories. Oh. So when they list out on the food, when they list out the number of calories, that includes all these other nutrients, right? So it's kind of like a combination of everything, but maybe that's a good place to look. Great call there, though. Maybe this is where this food calorie conversion factor needs to come in. The multiplication factor is to be used when calculating energy from macronutrients for a specific food. Yeah, so if we assume that energy is calories, yeah, this is VS Code. Shoot, boy. So if that's the case, we could just filter down to the soda nutrients, not use the pivot table, where query name equals energy, and sort values by energy. No, by amount. All right, so the name of this... Shouldn't it have the food description merged here? Oh, okay. Maybe suffixes? So we're merging here on the food data set, which has the description of the food name, like this description. But that's not what we're seeing here. We're just seeing plastic bottle, aluminum can, V8 beverage vegetable. Yeah, so it's saying that the really high calorie counts are these just aluminum cans, which doesn't make any sense. Aluminum bottles, plastic bottles. We kind of want to merge on the brand name. We want to merge on the, what's it called? Sodas. Probably should have just done this to start with. Just want to figure out what are the most unhealthy drinks. That's what we're trying to figure out. We're trying to get to the bottom of this. This is investigative data science right now. Trying to expose all of the bad, unhealthy companies. I'm just kidding. We're just having fun. You need a query for cholesterol. In sodas? Is there a lot of cholesterol in sodas? Potentially. All right, so now we have amount and we have brand. See what columns we have. Data type branded. Yeah, let's look at that. Wait, they all should be these sodas. Branded food. Branded food category. Not a significant source of. Brand name, sub-brand name, brand owner. These are the things we're trying to look for. Polar Beverages is just up here. What is Polar Beverages? Polar Beverages? These guys. They're just, I think they're bad at data entry is what they are. Because there's no way that their energy for this plastic bottle is like more than eating a Chipotle burrito. Big soda is bad, but sometimes is ice cold Dr. Pepper my guilty pleasure. I'm with you. I mean, I drink beers too, and it's less healthy. So what is this? What is going on here? Let's ignore all these polar. All right, so then the top thing that comes up is Coca-Cola Cherry, 7.5 fluid ounce. This makes a little bit more sense. But there's no way it's this many calories, right? So it's saying these are the Coca-Cola Cherry Coke ounces, 7.5 ounce cans. 1,333. It's kcal. Let's look at the columns. Is there a nutrients unit name? It is kcal. Oh, so divide by that. Oh, divide by. Okay, so we're just saying it's 1.3 calories then? Oh, wait, 133 calories, right? Something about the cherry Coke, though. Who would have thought? I always get the cherry flavor thinking it tastes so much better. But who would have thought that those are going to be at the top? We also have to make sure it's the same size. Right? If the serving size isn't the same, then we're not comparing apples to apples. Especially for drinks. I mean, I guess you could say, well, why is the serving size that big to begin with? $130 calories for one drink actually isn't that bad. We need like a normalized, maybe a future thing for this project is to like normalize. Oh, shoot. My kernel timed out. To normalize it by the size. So I bet one thing we could also look up is we can validate some of our preconceived notions about the data by doing something like this. What is the most unhealthy soda? Fanta Pina Colada. Fanta Pina Colada. That's just number 29. Hey, Sir C. Thank you so much for Sir C. You're the best. Thank you for subscribing with Prime. It's great. Take that money out of Jeff Bezos' pocket and give it to me. I think the main part is that healthy soda are carcinogens such as fake sugar. Yeah. So it's landed on sign to Mike, and I'm going to do that for you. Nice little sigh. There we go. Did our data set creation work? It did not. We might need to filter down those data sets before we create the data set. But let's try to see if we look up that one that we think is high. Sorry. Let's just show 5 of these. Let's go to this. Worst sodas. I don't want to be part of your newsletter. No. Stop it. Turn the ad blocker off. Will that help? Oh, no. Jeez. The site really hates me. Hey, MGX. Welcome back to the stream. I hope you're doing well. Thanks for subscribing. Let's go ahead and spin that wheel. Let's spin the wheel for you. It's spinning. It's spinning. I promise. Third time's the charm. Kevin! It's for you, MGX. So Mountain Dew is supposed to be bad. Regular Coke. Pepsi zero sugar. Oh, okay. It's the thing is we're looking at the high calories. Highest calorie soda. Rockstar energy drink has 260. Is Rockstar in this data set? Did we completely pass over Rockstar? We need to... Soda, nutrients. Query. No, description. Contains. Do we have anything relating to Rockstar? Ignore case. So we do have some Rockstar drinks. Let's see what they say the calories are in those. And then we'll be done. Let's wrap this up. It's too much time looking at sodas. One too many brackets. All right, Rockstar Pure Zero Silver Ice Energy Drinks. Amount, serving size. So this just says 75 is the amount of energy. So we're doing something wrong. Hello, how are you doing? I'm doing good. How are you doing? Guys, we've been streaming for a while now. What's this shortcut for auto lint Rob just used? Oh, you need to look up lab black or NB black extension. I'll show you here. This is it. You add this to your Jupyter cell and it'll automatically run the black auto formatting every time you execute a cell. It doesn't work well when you have like a lot of code processing that's going to run when you run the cell, and then you want to edit it as it's running because it'll auto replace what you wrote. Milligram is 0.075 kcal. Yeah. I don't know. We got to learn more about food. So let me just put some links. What's a good Linux IDE for data science? I have a whole video on that. So actually, YouTube, www.youtube.com. Let me just type it in here. youtube.com/@RobMullah. This should bring you to my site. And I have a whole video on my setup, which I run Linux on. So VS Code's pretty good. If you click that link, you'll come here. Vim's great too. Discord will bring you here to my Discord. So my Twitch stream, if you're not watching on Twitch, you should follow me over there, which is here. By the way, we have 13 people from the US. Brazil, you got overtaken by Canada here. There was a lot of Brazilians at one point, but they're all gone. I'm done. Vin Tutor and Emacs Tutor both are awesome. Yeah. Well, you got to just choose one, though. What else do I need a link to? Discord. Oh, you can look at me on Twitter. Rob_Mullah, I believe is mine. Let's make sure that's right. Yeah, this is me. Just chilling. And that's it. So thanks, everyone, for hanging out tonight. I'm going to go ahead and end the stream here. Any other questions before we end? I want to make this into an actual Kaggle dataset because I actually am getting kind of close to becoming a Kaggle Datasets Grandmaster for whatever that's worth. But yeah, it's been fun hanging out with you guys tonight. Was there a Brazilian? Oxford Energies drinks a type of soda? Yeah, they are. Apparently ones that are very high in calories. I'm going to look and see if people are coding in Python. Hey, Prism, thank you for the subscription, for subscribing. Should I spin the wheel for you? What's the verdict? Is it too late? No, it's not. It's never too late. I'll spin the wheel for you. Watch it land on like 20 push-ups or something. Drink water. Well, I got this. I'm going to drink this for you. Cheers and thanks for the sub. I appreciate that. I'm going to find someone to raid. Mawixi is doing Code Wars Python, I think. Is that Python? Yeah. Okay. So we'll do a little bit of a raid. Stick around. If you're going to leave, go ahead and leave now. If you're on Twitch, yeah, we'll raid and be positive and be encouraging. And yeah. So I'm going to load up this raid. And I will see you all next time. Thanks for hanging out with me tonight. And it's been a lot of fun. Let's do it again soon. 10 seconds. Any last questions? Are people getting employment based off of Kaggle alone? Yeah, sometimes. It does happen. All right, we're rating. Bye, YouTube. Have a good time. Thanks.